All right, what's good, people? Pete from PFM Fit here. Today, we're going to be talking about how I warm up for pressing movements. This can be bench press, incline bench, dumbbell bench press, mill press, any upper body day, really. I think it applies for, and I pretty much do this workout or this warm-up routine about 4 to 5 times a week with my workouts. Basically every upper body day except for legs. But starting off, first thing we do, because we're pressing, I like to warm up the elbows. I like to warm up the triceps for the lockout power. I like to also warm up the wrists a little bit with this. Obviously, if you're warming up, you're going to do the main lift, which for today, as you can see, is multi-grip bench press. We're doing an incline too. But first, we're grabbing the rope. We already did a few sets of that, and we're adding a little bit of weight. But then we're going to go to the rope, do some tricep pushdowns here. A solid set of these. And I kind of do these in an interesting way. I'll show you guys once I get through about 15, 20 reps here. Using super lightweight, by the way, and really going all the way down and contracting the tricep fully. Yeah, rope has definitely got to be my favorite out of the handle attachments to use on triceps. I like the easy curl bar, and I like the V bar, but not nearly as much as the rope. That's why I always warm up with rope, and most of my tricep movements for isolation, besides compounds like close grip bench, are just rope something. But anyways, I did about 25, 30-ish reps there. I kind of lost count while I was talking. Then I grab in the middle of the rope, as you can see here, and then I kind of treat it like a different handle to hit the triceps from a different angle slightly. And again, it's just lightweight, so it's all just about getting a little light, tiny pump in there, just getting some good blood flow into the muscle. And I only do about 10 reps there, and then I go all the way up on the rope, grab all the way at the top here, and treat it like a V-bar handle. And to me, this just feels like I'm hitting like both the long head and the short head of the tricep, warming them both up really good, and just getting a ton of blood in the elbows, because it's weird. It's been like rainy all summer, and if you're one of those people who your joints just feel a little weird on rainy days, your knees, your elbows, whatever, kind of, you got one of those kind of problems. It's been quite a rainy summer if you live in the New England region in North America. So, yeah, it's raining out right now, so even more important that you get your good warm-ups in. But first warm-up movement right there is rope push down, hit the triceps, grease them up nicely, get the elbows nice and warm to do some very heavy pressing. The elbows are going to be supporting and locking out a lot of heavy weight today on the incline close grip bench. But anyways, I'm going to adjust the camera and show you my next warm-up exercise, which would be supersetted right after this. All right, so next warm-up here, supersetted right after that rope push down, is a bit of an interesting one, maybe, to some of you, but it's lat pull down. And I prefer to do a close grip, much more of a narrow grip using the D handles here. Hopefully the camera angle is all right. But again, using really lightweight, just getting a solid contraction, just waking up the back muscles. And the reason why I do this is because if any of you guys bench press with any little bit of form and technique, I'm sure that you guys know the cue to roll your lats back and pinch your lats. And that cue took me a while to understand, because I realized if my lats are cold or don't have blood flowing to them a little bit and get warmed up a little bit, I have a tougher time contracting back, rolling my shoulders back, and feeling my lats pinch together against the bench. As well as it just feels good to have the blood flowing there in terms of using my back to support me, but I can better feel how my back is supporting me and like being able to contract it and pinch my lats together when I warm it up a little bit and do a little lat pull down. So that's why not why I superset it with row push down, but that's why it's in the warm up. Anyways, I'm going to cut to my next couple of warm ups, but I'm also going to show you guys the next set of multi-grip bench press, because while I do these warm ups, there's a weird camera angle where I have my back to the camera, but hey, you're looking at a moderately aesthetic back, I guess. So it's not the worst. But yeah, I like to do my weight jumps, warm-up sets on the main lift while I do these lighter, easier warm-up movements to isolate like the smaller joints in pressing, so the smaller components, to wake up every little area to make the pressing feel a lot smoother. So yeah, anyways, I'll show you guys the next exercise in a sec. All right. As promised, here is my jump sets. So as I'm doing my warm-ups, I'll start. The first thing I do when I warm up is an empty bar set of my main lift. And my main lift is always something barbell, like squat, RDL, press, whatever, So I'll do one set of empty bar main lift. And then I'll do that. Either I'll do another set of barbell with a little bit of weight, depending on the movement. Like a squat, sometimes you kind of need a little weight on the bar to like really feel it. And then I'll start doing my warm-up exercise movements. Like I just showed you, like the rope press down and the lat pull down. And I have a whole warm-up for legs. Obviously it's completely different ball game there, below the belt for warm-ups. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyways, there's just a jump set in between for my top sets. Go for 10. Oh, this bar's a little wobbly. Did I say warm-up weight? I might have meant working weight. All right. Let you in a little secret. It's my first time doing multi-grip bar in a while. So I'm not really sure where I line up in terms of weight jumps. I was thinking I was just going to do the same weight that I was going to do on incline barbell bench today on multi-grip bar, but I'm starting to remember that the gains don't exactly carry over. The strength does not exactly go one for one. Multi-grip bar is a lot harder, I guess. So I don't think I'm getting up to a set of 185 for more than, I think I got 10 last week with barbell. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just go up to a set of 155 and go for like 8 to 12. Or maybe that'll be the working weight today. We'll put like 3 sets or something to that. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe we should max out and see what we can do on the multi-grip bar. That's a bro science idea right there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just fooling around a little bit. I probably should have just done barbell, but I don't know. I kind of just felt like I've been talking a lot of shit about the multi-grip bar lately, and I wanted to give it a go again, see if it feels good. And honestly, it has 4 different grip widths to choose from. I did all 4 using the empty bar during my warm-up set, and honestly, they all felt good. Nothing felt like, ooh, my shoulder, oh, my rotator cuff, oh, my, chest is tight, or, oh, my wrists hurt, my elbows hurt. They actually all felt good. I decided to go with the closer grip one today because today's kind of like an arm day a little bit, even though we only have like 1 circuit of arms for buy and try after this, and then we're doing rear delts and abs, but we're doing more minimalized approach, people, where we go 6 days a week of training, and everything's getting hit twice. But don't worry about that yet. There'll be a video on that too. Yeah, a lot of grips to choose from, and they all felt good. So it's kind of making me want to give it a try again, and then, maybe it'll become a main player in the pressing variations going forward. And I'll just keep picking different grip widths for different cycles and different specificity needs. Use it for some wide grip, use it for some incline, use it for close grip for tricep development. I've tried to use it as a log press, before, because it's the neutral-ish grip. It just doesn't have the barrel around it. But you can still sort of emulate what you're doing with a log, because I went through a cheeky little I want to be a strongman phase. Not that I want to be a strongman, but like I want to try strongman movements phase, just because it's fun. It looks so fun, it is fun. Can't lie, it's pretty fun strength sport. But anyways, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, warm-ups. Got a little derailed there, as I normally do. That's why my college essays are always 5 or 6 pages longer than the professor says they're supposed to be. Oh yeah, 8 to 10 pages. Oh, okay. You mean 15 to 20? Okay. Here, have my long-winded version, because I'll talk all day and derail. But anyways, I'm going to move into my next warm-up movement here, which is probably the most important one, but we don't start with it because we still need a little blood going in the other parts of the body. But this one's the most important because it makes the rest of the workout go better if it's not starting good. So if I don't feel good off the get-go on a movement, this movement up next usually makes things feel good going forward. And if I do feel good, this just makes me feel even better, and that's why I do it anyways. So yeah, let me cut and show you the next warm-up exercise up next. Okay, so next movement. And I am not lying when I say I think this is the most important part of my warm-ups. The rotator cuff warm-up / strengthening exercise, because we're also trying to build stronger rotator cuffs here as well. So I do lightly, and very slowly progressive overload this exercise. So basically, you grab a cable machine, you get your handle, you either put no weight on the cable machine at all and just use the tension and weight of the cable, or you put it on like the lowest or second lowest setting possible. And then you put your arm parallel to yourself here, or put your elbow against your side, and then rotate from the elbow and try and feel it through the delt here as you extend out. And you're going to do about 20-30 repetitions of this one with, again, extremely light weight. And the idea is to get a burn somewhere up in the side delt, but it's not a side delt pump because it's underneath the side delt. It's the rotator cuff. So you're not getting a delt pump, even though it sort of feels like it. All right, that's 20 on that side. We'll switch into the other side while we kind of shake out a little too. Just get the blood flowing through the arm. But yeah, hit the other side, same thing. 20-30 reps. But yeah, I heavily believe in this exercise. This exercise right here turns my pressing day from, could be shit, might have to deload or might have to use less weight or do less reps, to hitting PRs, or hitting the rep count that I set. Like this warm-up, just this one specific one, more than the other ones, I personally feel like definitely gets the job done. And it's not that it's like, oh, you do it once and your shoulders will instantly feel better. Like maybe, that seems to work with all the Squat University's patients somehow. I think he gives good advice. But my point is that I do this one every single workout except for leg day. And I actually even used to do it on leg day when I was doing barbell back squats before I got a safety squat bar, because the barbell back squats would be so difficult. If I had a sore chest muscle, trying to get my arm under the bar, in that position was so tough on the shoulders, it was causing more rotator cuff injuries. And I just stopped barbell back squatting. I do safety squat bars now, my hands in front, can squat even heavier that way, and I can be more upright and go ass to grass. But that's a whole other video too. So many other video side trails that we'll eventually get to when I want to talk about different topics. But anyways, the rotator cuff circuit is not over. As you can see, I just added a little weight, or maybe heard the weight clanging. The reason for that is because we're going not just one direction, we're not just going inside out, we're going outside in as well, because the shoulder is a super versatile joint. I mean, look at all this movement, mobility, up, down, back, forth, sideways, freaking all over the place. This thing can do anything. Except for literally go like 360 degrees around, But the point is it means you can warm it up in several different planes and directions and strengthen it in several different, what's it called? Like the different axis of the way your body rotates. Like, you have like the frontal plane, the sideways plane, and I don't know, there's like a third one too, but I'm not exactly completely versed in the science. I'm no Jeff Nippert here, or Mike Isertel or anything. But anyways, outside in, pretty much the same thing. Elbow against the side, except you start outside this time, and then you curl it in. And you'll get a better view when I do the other side, but I always go back to the side I started with first to keep it even. I'm not hitting the same side in a row. I give each side a little rest, while the other side's getting worked. But yeah, anyways, I highly recommend, if you're not warming up in general, to do some kind of warm-up, but I would also recommend a specific movement like this, for any kind of upper body day, really, because the rotator cuff is just the freaking, the essential part. It's like the knee of your upper body, more so than the elbow, but I don't know. I mean, if you hurt your rotator cuff, not only are you not going to enjoy pressing, you're not going to enjoy back day either. You're not going to enjoy, any kind of machine upper body work that involves arms. The only thing you're going to have left is abs at that point that you can do sit-ups with and not use your arms. So you need a healthy, strong rotator cuff if you want to, 1, press for a long time and be healthy, 2, not feel like shit while you're pressing, 3, actually get big and strong and make gains for a long time, which is what you really want. So, and the other 2 are just a nice side effect, I'm sure you know. But anyways, we're getting the other side hit here. And then the next movement after this, I can do this one right on camera. I don't even need a cut because it's so simple. But I like to do it right after the rotator cuff because it complements it really well, I think. But yeah, as you can see, this is a better view of the outside in. So starting outside, and I don't go any exaggerated crazy range of motion. I just go with what my body's capable of and just do about 10 to 30 reps, same thing. Just getting a very light, mild pump. But I add a little more weight because I've just found that, going inside out, I cannot go as heavy on, which means I guess I'm a little weaker in that plane of direction for the rotator cuff. But then going outside in, it's like I'm arm wrestling and I have more strength, so I have to add a little more weight to the circuit to actually make it, challenging to feel that pump. Otherwise, I'd be doing like 50 or 60 reps of outside in. But anyways, the next movement right after this, I feel like it goes good, is I call these over-unders, I don't know, back and forth, something like that. The PVC pipe stretch, just a classic one. Really good for shoulder mobility. I see everyone do these. I've been doing these for years. This PVC pipe, this literal piece specifically, this specific piece right here in my hands, was cut from my shop class in high school. That's how old it is. I haven't been in high school. I'm nearly graduated with my master's degree in college, so I haven't been in high school in 6 years. And even then, I grabbed this early into my this was sophomore year of high school. You know what I mean? When I just started going to the gym and started watching fitness YouTube videos and got my first injuries because I was stupid and ego lifting and had bad form. And, once you get those first few injuries from being stupid, you can go one of two ways. You can either quit the gym and bitch out, gym career over, you're done being a gym bro, or you can get smarter improve your form, learn how to lift the right way, learn how to warm up the right way, and let me tell you why I do these extra little smaller muscle group warm-ups that I don't see everybody do. I see a lot of people do it, but I also see more people say, oh, I just warm up with whatever main lift I'm doing that day. I just hit a few sets of, lighter sets of whatever the main movement for the day is or something like that, something along those lines. And I used to do that too until, the smaller muscle groups that don't always get woken up or activated by just doing the main lift started getting aggravated and hurting and were getting injured. So I ended up having to go to PT, a physical therapist, and do a bunch of rehab and light exercises that I thought were bullshit because they didn't work in the first fucking, one time I tried them. I did one set and it's like, oh, well, my shoulder still hurts. Well, what the fuck is this? It's useless. But then like 2 months later, when I did them like every workout as a warm-up, eventually the pain started going away and I was like, oh, I'm making gains again because I can press way heavier than before without pain. Wow, that's crazy. So that's really what matured me a lot in terms of understanding the necessity and the importance of warm-ups for not only like working out pain-free, but also being able to make progress long-term because the injury itself set me back so much. Like this was right around the time I just got my first 225 bench, and then imagine how crippling it is to not be able to just keep doing 225 benches week by week because you just want to max out every week and hit 225 because you don't warm up properly and your shoulder's hurting you. So you get set back. Now you're just doing nothing. You're just going in circles if you don't break the cycle somehow. I broke the cycle. We got smarter. That's what I'm recommending you guys do before any injury strikes, or maybe the injury is stroking now, and here you are, finding yourself looking up how to warm up for bench press. But either way, pick apart your warm-ups like this. Take whatever lift you're doing. Let's say it is a bench press. Obviously, the main muscles being engaged in that is the chest, the triceps, the shoulders, and the back, lats. So that's what you need to warm up, you need to warm up your shoulders. You always need to warm up your chest. I think the chest gets warmed up sufficiently from the bench press, but the shoulders, not so much, especially the rotator cuff. Triceps and elbows specifically, not as much the triceps, more so the elbows, not so much. Sometimes the barbell can be a lot, just starting the day out. So it's good to get a little tricep pump or a little rope push down tricep pump. And then similarly, any other small little nagging things, maybe it's your neck, maybe your legs are a little tight because you did legs the day before and you can't even get into your bench press position. So you need to warm up your legs a little bit. I mean, seriously, you might need to stretch out a little bit. You might need to do a little mobility work just to get in a comfortable position. I've honestly had days where the day after leg day, if you want to do some upper body work, you can't even lay on the bench properly because your legs are so sore. You need to like Larson press, when you weren't planning on it. So it's kind of funny when that happens, but also there's ways to work around it. So I also have 2 more warm-up movements, but these ones are a little more optional on a day-by-day, whether you need it or not basis. I'm feeling pretty good today, so I don't think I need them, but I'm going to do them for the video anyway, just to show you guys. And I'm also going to jump into my next set of weight, which is 165. I think I'm going to max out on multi-grip press today, which is why I've been letting myself take a little bit of time between sets here because I want to recover really nicely. So, yeah. But next movement, or next set of warm-ups is more optional, and it's going to be about the lats again and the wrists and kind of the neck a little bit in traps. So, which is also kind of important for bench press, depending on, what's not feeling warmed up for that day. So, yeah, let me cut and show you guys that up next. All right. So, next warm-up, kind of an optional one. Well, it's a pair of warm-ups, but I like to take some light dumbbells, it could be like 5 or 10 pounds, something pretty light. You can even just do hands, just your arms alone. And I like to do some shoulder rolls. So not just like a shrug, but like actually going up and back. So I can do about 10 or 15 of these. This is like a mini circuit with just these dumbbells in your hand. So you do some shoulder rolls. And these feel pretty good for helping me pinch my lats together again, as well as like bracing with my neck against the bench and keeping your head locked in position. So that's enough of those. Then I like to do some gentle, like light stretches on the chest, on the pec muscles, by going back and forth with this and kind of just stretching out the chest. And then take the dumbbells in hand, you kind of spin them a little bit with your forearms to kind of warm up your forearms and stretch your wrists out a little bit and twist them. And I find that this actually kind of helps my wrists feel pretty good while I'm pressing and warms them up relatively good. So yeah, I say this is optional because, you know, I just find that I forget to do this part of the warm-up sometimes. I never forget the rotator cuff. I never forget the PVC pipe or the tricep push downs or the lat pull down, but I do forget these sometimes as well as the next one, and it doesn't seem to affect the workout too much, but I still do like these movements. So yeah, I do about like 20 little spins with those, and put the dumbbells back. And yeah, the next movement up next here, which as you can see, is going to be in the rack again. We're just going to do some pull-up hangs. So hold on, I got to get this bar off my back. All right. Bar's being a total bitch right now. Like, dude, fucking sit still. Quit being a bitch. Fuck. All right. What a piss off. All right. Anyways, enough of that bar, dude. That's why the multi-grip bar doesn't get used that often, dude. The guy's a freaking tool. But I like to do some pull-up hangs. I like to just hang from the pull-up bar, stretch out the lats, decompress the spine. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't think it really carries too much over to the workout per se, but it just kind of feels good in general in terms of like readying the body, waking yourself up, and getting yourself good to go, ready to lift, you know? So I like to hang for about 5-10 seconds from like each grip of my pull-up bar, because you know, most pull-up bars you can do like the narrow grip, the wide grip, close grip, you know, you can hang reverse grip, and I kind of like to hang from them all because it just feels a little different, feels like a different stretch in a different direction on the lats, each position I hang in, and it just feels good on my whole spine for a few seconds. And I feel a few pops sometimes, but I think they're good pops. Like the chiropractor kind, you know? So letting like those fluid buildups release between certain bones and whatnot, you know, like my knees every time I squat down. But yeah, that's the end of what I would typically do for my pressing warm-up. I've been doing this warm-up routine for probably probably close to 2 years, honestly. Because I've been working this home gym specifically for about 3 years, and then year one, we were a total gym bro noob who didn't warm up and just went heavy every time, and that only lasted so long, you know. You know, we flew a little too close to the sun like Icarus, and our wax wings, our wax rotator cuff melted, and we ended up in PT, like I said. So from that point on, we got smarter, and I spent a lot of time doing research, looking up the best, you know, benchers and lifters that there were, and I wanted to see what they did for warm-ups, you know. We looked up Julius Maddox. We looked up Michael Wenning. I just looked up the people who I just normally watched, you know, like Juji Mufu, John Meadows. You know, I went all the way from powerlifting to bodybuilding, you know, from natural lifters to the enhanced, you know. I figured the enhanced lifter advice would be pretty good too in this instance, because enhanced lifters almost need to warm up more because they put on muscle faster, but they don't necessarily put on, you know, rotator cuff strength as equally as fast. The steroids don't necessarily boost the rotator cuff the same way it boosts the delt muscle. So they're even more injury prone, which means their warm-up advice could even be better. But I went all around the land, which is what led me to cultivate this warm-up routine that I have here. I didn't just, you know, throw darts at an exercise board. You know, I watched a lot of videos, I tried a lot of warm-up routines, and I kind of just picked the best things that I felt worked the best for me, and made my own warm-up routine. And that might be what you use this video for. You might pick 1 or 2 of these exercises and go make your own routine, and that's totally fine, because if it works for you, that's awesome. Whatever prevents you from getting injured and whatever prevents me from getting injured, doesn't matter if it's different as long as it works. That's kind of how fitness works, you know? I mean, it pretty much is. Whatever works doesn't matter, you know, as long as whatever you're doing works for you, and if it works for someone else, that's awesome too. But that's going to do it for today's video, people. Talking about warm-ups, specifically for pressing. We'll also probably make this into a mini-series where we talk about how I warm up for back day. It's very similar to this, but with some slight tweaks, because, you know, you don't need to warm up chest for back day, pretty much, you know, so you're going to do some things differently. And same for leg day. Obviously, that's totally different from anything above the waist. So that could be a video in itself. Lots of, you know, hints at future videos that I'll be making in this one video right here. But that's going to do it for today, people. It's been your boy Pete from PFM Fit. Hopefully you learned something today. Peace. See ya. So like you thought, I'm actually going to attempt a cheeky little 185 right here on the multi-grip press. We're going for 2. And if we don't get 2, then it's our 1 max. But if we get 2, we're going for 195. If we get 2 on that, we're going for 205. So we're going until we can't get 2 reps. Basically, is what's happening. So let's go. Wrong way. Flip it around. All right. Yep. Wow. Those lats tucked. Ooh. All right, come on. Okay. Well, this will probably be a fail if I try it, but let's try it. Oh, triceps, you let me down. Oh, the spotters are kind of let me down too. Shit the bed. Sorry you had to see that. Oh, the ugly reality of the fitness industry. Damn, though, this rack is the best investment I ever bought. Holy crap. Best $350 I ever spent. 1,000-pound rated safety spotter arms that bail my dumbass out every fucking time. We love it. Whew. Okay, well, damn, that sucks. I was hoping this was going to be a scrapped take, because I did 2 reps, and then I went to 195 and did 2 reps, and then I went to 205 and did 2 reps, and I kept retaking the same intro saying, ha, psych, you thought, you know, because I ended up just deleting the other 2, because I wasn't going to show you the 3 clips of me saying psych 3 times, you know. Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean, I took close grip bench press out of my rotation for more mill press a little while back, and yeah, I think it's showing right there in my lockout power. Didn't quite have the tricep ability right there, but whew, not the end of the world. I mean, I guess it's humbling, because last week, or even today, if I just used a straight barbell on this lift, I would have been doing 185 for a set of 8 to 12. Probably 10 to 12, most likely. And then we used this different bar that I think weighs 50 pounds, actually. So this might have been 190, to be fair. But, you know, either way, still could have gotten 8 reps at least on a 190-pound barbell. So yeah, it's humbling that 185/190 pounds here is a 1 rep max, just because the orientation of your wrists. But at the same time, my chest, my wrists, my elbows feel super different compared to a barbell. Like, I don't want to say like they feel better already, but like I think it is true what people say about this bar being like a bit of a shoulder slash joint saver if barbell is becoming a little too weary on the limbs, you know. I could kind of I could agree with that, you know. So I don't know. Maybe I'll use this for a cycle. Try and get my 100 max up to like 200 plus pounds on this thing. Maybe a 225. I could probably get that in like a month or two. Honestly, I bet. If I really train this thing hard once a week or something. And I don't know. I wonder what that would carry over to my pressing strength and other pressing lifts. You know, flat bench. You know, regular barbell incline bench. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be the real outro for this video. I just figured I'd throw in a cheeky little big lift for you guys to see, to be entertained a little bit more too, in case you were just bored learning how to warm up properly. Because, let's be honest, the warm-ups, they are boring. They're not the most exciting part of the workout. This is the most exciting part of the workout. But this becomes less exciting if you can't lift the heaviest weight you want to lift because you don't enable yourself to by having a solid warm-up. So, look at it like, you know, the scales being balanced. If you don't balance the scales with a good warm-up, you know, the enjoyment of, or the weight of the, damn, we're done with that analogy. Forget about it. You get my point, though. Bad warm-up equals bad freaking heavy lifts. Good warm-up equals better heavy lifts. There we go. We dumbed it down for a caveman like myself. And that is truly going to do it for today, people. It has been your boy, Pete, from the PFM Fit YouTube channel here. Like and subscribe. Peace and goodbye.